Hello, this is Kaitlin Springer, teaching artist with the Florida Orchestra. Today I will be talking about this Kreutzer Etude number 26, going through my Kreutzer 26 practice worksheet. So the first point on this worksheet is finding the pattern. So when we're playing music, it could be very helpful in our practice sessions to go through, look for patterns, look for scales, look for arpeggios, because you practice scales and arpeggios every day, it will make it that much easier. So let's look at the very beginning. If you take the first and last 16th note from every set of 4 16th notes, you'll find that the pattern sounds something like this. Sounds like a scale. So we're just going down the G major scale. So I'm going to put a drone on G because droning is very important to me. And I'm just going to see what this sounds like with the drone. This is the breakdown. Now it changes. Now we're going somewhere else. So even though we are leaving the key of G major and we're going someplace else, you can still hear how that pattern works. So I'm going to go through this once and just play the first two lines, and let's see if we could connect how the pattern sounds. See if you could hear it while I'm playing the first two lines. So those are the first two lines, and you can kind of tell how it moves in that scalar motion, and that gives your ear something to latch onto as you're practicing this piece so that you could play it even more in tune than you already may have been. The next topic on this sheet is shifting. So breaking down passages that have a lot of shifting is extremely helpful. I like to narrow things down to the lowest common denominator. So I think I break down this passage as just one measure. It's one measure, but it's got two big shifts in it. Yeah, it does have two big shifts in it. So I'm going to play this with a drone. Now the key is changing, so I'm going to do a couple different drones, and that's going to give me an even better opportunity to practice for intonation. So first I'm going to put this on E flat. All right. And as I'm listening for this E flat, I'm really going to be listening for the middle E flat and the low E flat that I hit as we play this passage. All right. See, that should match. And that should match. What you could also do is play it in first position first, like this. So it's in your ear. So I really just want to get it in my ear so that when I come away from the drone, I can still kind of hear it in my ear's ear. still trying to match that to what I imagine that E flat still sounds like. Let's do it in one more drone here just to be really diligent. Let's try the G drone here. Let's just see what this sounds like. So we're going to be listening for that G, and then matching when you do the shift. We're going to be listening for those G's. All right, let's try this out. Okay, good. So giving yourself a chance to practice it in multiple different drones or with multiple different drones and practicing it with great deliberation will really, really help you get that nicely in tune with confidence. All right, the last point on this sheet is bow distribution. There's so many things in this excerpt and there's so many notes and they go by so quickly. But the hardest thing, or one of the most challenging things, is keeping your bowing for the entire measure. So keeping one bow per bar. That's extremely challenging. So how do we practice that? It's all about bow distribution. So instead of using my full bow for each note, I'm going to use a very small amount of bow because I have to fit 16 notes into one little bow. And it's going to feel little when you're trying to fit 16 notes into it. Usually feels pretty big. But let's try this exercise where we actually pause. We freeze the bow in between each note. And you're going to try to make the bows as small as possible so that you could fit 16 notes into one bow. So let's just break this down a little bit. Okay, I'm a quarter way through the measure. I should be about a quarter way through my bow. Should be about halfway through my bow. I'm actually a little bit heavy towards the tip. Let's see what happens. Okay, I should have a quarter left. All right, had just enough. Look at that. All right, let's try the next measure. All right. Oh, look at that. I have a lot of bow left. Should be about halfway through. Looks like I'll have some to spare. 1/4 left. So you can see how each quarter note should be taking up about a quarter of your bow. Halfway through. Halfway through. And that's going to help you learn the distribution for the rest of the entire piece as well. So let's just see how that feels now, kind of as written. Great. So that's that. Look at that. We got some piano music in the background. This is fantastic. I hope you guys have a wonderful time practicing this, and I'll catch you next time.